Hi, I'm Sansari Adams. I'm a rising sophomore at Georgia Tech, and I'm getting a closer look at tech professionals here at Cox Automotive.
Hi, I'm David Rice. I run product and tech for a big part of Cox Automotive. I'm super excited to talk to you.
Okay, so I just have 4 questions for you, and the first one is, were there any moments of failure or redirection early in your career that helped you grow?
Oh, absolutely. There's one in particular that sticks out. Early in my career, as I was shifting from a software engineer to a leader level, I was in a leader meeting and I was getting really frustrated with kind of all of the things that were happening in the direction because it really wasn't taking into account the people.
Right.
And so I had a coach at the time and I went to him and I was like, I feel like I have to change fundamentally who I am to actually do this. Like maybe this is the wrong thing. And he kind of slowed me down a little bit and he said, are you sure that you have to change who you are? Or maybe you just have to change how you show up, and are you focused on the outcome?
Okay.
And so as opposed to changing the fundamentals and being a different person, looking at the outcome I'm trying to achieve and making sure that I'm optimizing to get that outcome, it was just a minor and such a massive shift in the way that I thought about things to where it's like, no, I get to be the authentic who I am. But I also have to think about if I'm not achieving what I'm trying to achieve, it's a me thing.
Okay. Yeah, it's really good to hear about you talk about your authenticity. I think that's really important. Question number 2, what are some ways to get opportunities or get one's foot in the door given the state of the job market right now?
So I have to admit, I don't have to deal with the job market right now because I've been at Cox now for 20-ish years. But one thing I do look at is how we bring people in.
Okay.
And so when I think about the connections, this event is so important because it's creating the connections that get you past all of the noise. So if you think about getting into the job market today, you're going to submit a resume. You probably wrote some of the resume with AI. It's going to be interpreted with AI.
Right.
It's going to be, filtered by AI, and it's so impersonal. And so making sure that you find the opportunities to create connections with people, reach out to people in the companies, make a connection, say, hey, I'm looking for a job here. I'd love to understand more about what it's like. Look out for people in similar positions and try to make those connections because I think that'll give you a better in. Because ultimately, as an employer, the thing that we struggle with is filtering out the noise to find the people that are going to fit within our culture. If we have pre-filters by people intentionally making connections like all of these young men and women are doing, that is going to help us.
Okay.
And that's going to help you as well. And really being intentional about those the relationships that you create.
Okay. Nice. That's really good and reassuring to hear. So what is some advice you'd give to your younger self if you knew what you know now about the field you're in?
So when I started, I was a software engineer, very, very focused on the technology, on the problems that we were solving. I was positive that I would never be a leader. Like I did not want to do that.
Yeah.
Like I want to write code.
Right.
And what I realized years later, and maybe years later than I should have, is that I was, that mentality is a limiting mentality. I was so focused on the technology is the important thing as opposed to thinking about it from the perspective of, well, no, the problems that we're solving are the important thing.
Right.
One of the big mental shifts that I had to go through to shift from the person who was writing the code to somebody that was actually trying to remove roadblocks from all of the people who were solving the code is the scale I could create. I'm now am able to impact problems broadly within a huge organization because I shifted that mindset. I'm still solving problems. I'm just not solving the same problems in the same way.
Right. That's really good to hear, for sure. And back to the question about AI, how do you see the uptick in professional AI use changing the demands of your role and the roles around you for the better or for the worse?
Yeah, ultimately, as a technologist, I think that it is important to always embrace new technologies. So the world is going to happen whether we want it to or not. So not embracing them is just a recipe for disaster. So I don't think it's ultimately going to result in negative consequences overall.
Okay.
Is it going to eliminate a job here or there? Is it going to change the things we do? Absolutely.
Okay.
But every major technology shift has done that. Industrialization, even the coding languages that we use. But in almost every case of new technologies, more jobs have been created. And fundamentally, I think that AI is going to allow us to solve more problems that we wouldn't even consider solving in the past.
Okay.
Because it's going to reduce the cost to solve them. And that change of equation is going to drive so many opportunities that I think it's just going to look really different tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's going to look different in a way that we can't anticipate today
Right.
when we're looking at it through that lens of, oh my God, my job's going to change.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So
That's really reassuring to know, to know that AI won't take our jobs and that we'll be okay.
well, and that's something that I've talked with my teams about, is that AI is not coming for your jobs.
Okay.
People who know AI, they are absolutely coming for your job.
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
So making sure that you're leaning in and you're evolving you.
Okay.
One of my leaders has a perfect phrase with this. He says that people will say, well, I don't have time to spend with AI. I don't have time to learn it. AI is a fundamental shift in the careers that we have chosen, not in the jobs we do.
Okay.
So that separation of career and jobs, you own your career and you work at a company at a job.
All right.
So if you don't embrace the evolution, then your career will leave you behind, because AI will be a major part of the career of software engineers, of product, of everything that we do to solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to invest beyond just the job in AI in order really to understand it and embed it into our lives.
Right.
And it's a disconnect that I think is going to continue to struggle with as people are slow in adoption.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Understanding the problem on a deeper level so that the job isn't really your career addresses the problem instead of your job specifically addressing the problem.
Well, and you think about your career is going to outlast the job you're at.
Right.
Let's say that you start at Cox Automotive and you're here for a few years, and then you get a great opportunity with somebody else and you're like, well, I'm going to leave it. I love Cox because it is a great place to work for. But then you're like, well, I'm going to go do the startup. And then you do that for a little while, and then you decide, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm actually going to go over here and I'm going to work for Home Depot, which is big here. And you kind of move that. All of that is your career.
Right.
But those are jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And so the jobs that you move are going to change over time, but the career you own.
Mm-hmm.
And so AI is a part of the evolution of your career more than it is a part of the job. And so making sure that people have autonomy and ownership and truly lean into their career path is the important part.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for interviewing with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you.